Alrighty, guys. Give me a moment here. Just setting everything up. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully I've been trading well. What's going on, Jamie? Minus 37.5. Okay. What's going on, Kyle? Alright, today is the 20th. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. And cool, done. Alright. What's going on, AZ, Evan, Gavin, Jr.? What's going on, guys? Alright, give me a moment here. I'm just setting everything up. Alright. Alright, I'm live going over my 37.5K today. Cool, there's that. About 20 more seconds here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Click the icon like for making new videos. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Helps the channel out a ton. As always, please make sure to click that icon to alert you if I make new videos. Helps the channel out a ton, as I always say. I'm just getting everything set up here, guys, so give me a moment. That'll be about 15 more seconds or so. And then I'll be ready to go from there. Alright, so there's that. Cool, I'm live going over today's trading day. Alrighty, guys, just give me a moment here, just setting everything up. Steve Austin, Gruber, what's up? Alrighty, guys, today's runners were... We had ADGI, we had BBIG, DWAC, we had SoFi, and then we had, what was another runner today? We can do IMT. More APM's fine. Alright, posted that there. Go live on TikTok now. NFLX. Excuse me. Alrighty, guys. We're live here at nomagnoltrading.com. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. So today's a red day. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And you know, an hour before market close, I only had 2K in losses, and I compounded them into 35K. I'm gonna go ahead and go over that here in a second on why that happened and how that happened. And opens at $9. These stocks are just getting crushed. Alrighty, guys. SY, please report him. SY, please reporting. I'm working on getting my accounts all verified, so please report them if they're doing that. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Alrighty. What a sell-off on DATS, man. What a freaking sell-off. Man. I was in that one sized up at 402, so luckily I stopped out. Enough was enough. I held it too long anyways. I should have just stopped out in here. I didn't. What's going on, Abby? Alrighty, Coach, Optimus, Brian, what's up? Michael, we'll give it about 20 more seconds. People get on in here, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Click the icon to alert you if I make new videos. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Helps the channel out a ton here at nomagnoltrading.com. Alright. Alrighty, guys. So, as you can tell today, you know, I was doing all right. You know, PETZ luckily made back a lot on that trade on the day. And then, you know, I came back with IMTE and DATS. So to start the day, guys, you know, I lost on Pixie. And Pixie was my #1 watch coming out of the gates. And it's frustrating to even see that I was wrong about that. I was wrong to see this stock, you know. Is that true, Peloton, to drop out of the NASDAQ? This stock just keep getting hammered. But anyway, so, you know, today, guys, on Pixie, you know, it was my #1 watch out of the gates because we've been seeing how BBIG reacted, and I really wanted to see this thing kind of rip and ramp. And I started to see this thing come down, and I'm like, okay, good dip opportunity. I got my average down to 169, which was like right in there. But a little bit too big of a position size, to be honest. And this thing was just ugly. It just kept selling off. And, I could have actually held this thing. It would have sucked to hold through it, but it bounced up to 165. And, but I ended up just selling it off because, you know, I really thought this area right in here, it was going to bounce with this wick. And this was just ugly churning in here. This thing, and then it just kept slowly selling off. And basically just felt like everything in this name was or the level 2 and the time and sales were all kind of just selling off in this name. So my #1 watch out of the gates failed, so that's already a bad sign to start the day. I'm usually pretty good with finding the stock out of the gates. ADGI, you know, we made a quick scalp on this one, 21,000 shares at 608, so right in there. And then this thing popped us at any pop above these highs, I was out. Of course, this thing goes to almost $7 today on solid liquidity. Could have been a bigger trade, but I was pretty happy about that. PETZ, we nailed this one. You know, I really have been watching this one, and obviously I've taken some loss on this name, but I remembered it, and I started to accumulate in here, and then I started to accumulate some more in here and in here, and this thing started to pop up on a massive amount of volume, and I said anything over highs, I'm going to start taking it off. So I ended up taking about a $15,000 winner at 54.5 average on the long there. And that basically wiped out most of my losses. I still had about $8,000 in losses. Then, of course, you know, I go out and lose IMTE. But then I remade it back on IMTE. This thing just doesn't want to sell off, and it keeps going after hours. I mean, this thing is on 12 green days in a row. It's pretty incredible, this kind of move here. But I ended up losing on my first long, and then it perked right back up. And I said, okay, if we perk right back up, I got to get back in this thing. And I got back in it, sold the pop. Ended up being green on it. And then I got down, so DATS, you know, I started to trade it. I saw it on the scanner right in here, and I started to trade it. I took it off there on DATS. 395 in, 405 out, and then I took another trade on it, 401, 409 out. And then I said, all right, you know, I made some cushion on this. I think it's starting to look like as I was getting into this position and as I was getting in and out of it, it felt like the buyers were on my side. It also felt like this was kind of like a BBIG type stock. So I said, you know what? I'm going to size up on any dips I can get on this name and look for a 420 push. 419, 421, 420 range, and I was going to sell out, and that probably would have been, with that position size, about a $15,000, $20,000 winner. And, you know, would have walked away on the day, green up on the day from going red-green, and then this thing just dumps. And, you know, I see this thing triple top here, and I'm starting to add on this. And then once it breaks 397, I'm like, all right, that's getting really ugly. We're selling off really quick, really hard, and I don't necessarily like to see a stock sell off really quick and really hard and really fast because it generally means that's the top, or it generally means that's going to be switching its into a bearish form, especially if it sells off quickly with a ton of volume right back to where it came from. I should have stopped out on any pops, you know, but I was just getting aggressive with the name. I really, really thought the BBIG move was going to have, you know, we're going to get one more stop out and then a rip right back up higher. We already saw this thing stop from 388 all the way down to 361, so I knew that it was possible. You know, we got to stop out here, and then this thing just dumped. And luckily, I stopped out like right in here, I think, or somewhere along the lines of in here. And this thing's down to 320, so it could have been a hell of a worse of a day. And then I compounded my losses trying to get back a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and explain this here in a second. So IMTE, you know, I ended up taking a loss basically just on slippage, right? You know, 1181 in, and then I saw this thing perk back up, and I'm just chasing, and there's not enough time left in the day to get any kind of movement out of this one. I still think, you know, you can see it starting to move after hours. You know, that's basically just oversizing in a stock that can't really handle it. And so, yeah, that's the day. You know, I compounded my loss into the close. There was about an hour. Let's see. So there was about an hour left in the market. I was only down $2K on the account, and then I took a $35,000 hit to end the day. And I'll explain, you know, I know myself, and I'll explain what happened here. You know, what happened was, you know, I knew that I was taking winners. I knew that, and I wanted to go red-green like yesterday. And BBIG, I held this one yesterday all day. And, you know, the massive position into the short, covered. And when I had a big position and I hold it for a longer period of time, generally I could compound my losses the next day. And I don't know why that is, but I'll tend to size up more. And I'll tend to hold on to things longer when I really shouldn't. And, you know, if we're in a really hot market, it's not a big deal. But we're not in a really hot market. And for me to sit here and hold on to stocks throughout the day like I did today, you know, you could see me just taking big P&L fluctuations. And that's when I get myself into dangerous positions. I was down 2K with an hour left, and I lost 35 grand to end the day. Man, that thing is just dumping. But anyway, so with that being said, guys, you know, at the end of the day, I know when I take position sizes and they're too big, right? And, you know, and BBIG yesterday, I was really highly convicted, but it ended up screwing me today with the mindset of coming in today with bigger position sizes, holding on to them longer, you know, and so that's generally, you know, something that I need to be aware of. And I knew that, you know, yesterday I was thinking about it, and I started to take smaller size, and I was kind of getting myself back into green. And it ended up costing me. And I'll explain, like, BBIG ended up costing me into today because I was holding things, you know, basically, you know, that I for a longer periods of time than I shouldn't have. You know, with this, it made sense. You know, conviction was there, you know, all that good stuff, and I covered it down in here and in here and in here, right? Everything made sense. But today, to hold, you know, PETZ, kinda, but IMTE, you know, it's a dangerous one. Lower liquid name. And then, you know, DATS, I held this one. The biggest thing is I held this one too long when it was selling off. You know, I should have just, the reality is I should have probably just broke even. Maybe just, if it gets under, like, 390, like, right in here, I might stop out next time. If it starts breaking the trend line. Knowing that BBIG, yesterday I had been, you know, longing it, and it, or shorting it, and it just screwed me over today because, like I said, I was in such a big size, I held it longer, and generally the next day I get too aggressive when I have a bigger position that I hold all day. And I need to fix that, you know, especially if we're in a slower market. Especially. Now, if we're in a hotter market, that's different. So, anyways, guys, that's really all I had today. You know, it's unfortunate. IMTE looks like it's trying to perk after hours. This thing is just not giving up. That's really all I had today, guys. You know, not a whole lot else. I wish that I could say today was green. I had a $2,000 losing day until an hour before market close, and I really just compounded those losses into $35,000 worth of losses within an hour. And that's how quick things can change, guys. You know, things can move very, very quickly up and down when you're trading volatile names, and that's what I love to do. But I made a big mistake today, and that being that BBIG kind of came over in today with my position sizing and holding, and it just shouldn't have. It just shouldn't have. Unless we're in a really hot market, it just shouldn't have. Something that I learned, oh my gosh, IMTE 1240. 1240 on IMTE, guys. Look at that. We got bidders at 1239. You know, I could have been holding this one. It is an overnight idea. It's just too liquid. You know, I had 30,000 shares of this name. And, you know, we only popped on 9,000 shares worth of volume. So, sure, this might go up to 13. But I wasn't comfortable. Like, I thought about holding it overnight. But, you know, it's just not up my repertoire yet. And but I look at IMTE, just continue to squeeze the shorts out. If anybody short this name, you got to be careful because it can really start to get crazy on us. But anyways, guys, that's really all I have to say. Again, that's really all I have to say. You know, we're not in an extremely hot market, so I shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. And I know that, you know, and I continue to work on that. So, Appreciate you guys for subscribing to the NorMagnoTrading.com community. Subscribe to the channel. Click the icon below for making new videos. I'd really appreciate that, guys. I'll answer the first 3 questions that you have. I don't really like to answer any stock-specific questions. If you're going to ask me, do you think it's going to go up or go down? I don't know. I trade momentum. I trade volatility. You know, I might have an opinion, but I don't really want to give it because it's not really... Most likely I haven't been looking at that name. Who's up? Thank you, man. Appreciate that. The BZ, no, I didn't. What platform should I watch you on? I pay for the subscription. Randall, what subscription? I don't know what subscription you're talking about. I have a free chat room. You could join me on YouTube Cam the Man. YouTube Cam the Man. Again, my YouTube is Cam the Man. You can also join that link in TikTok. You'll see it there. Also, there is my YouTube right there. YouTube Cam the Man. Christopher Cormier, awesome. Second back-to-back Green Day for me. That is awesome, awesome stuff. Congratulations, Kristen Cormier. I'm really proud of you. Let's keep that momentum going into the new year. You're welcome, Abby. NFLX. Alrighty, guys, that's it on the day for me. Red Day recap. Tomorrow, I'm looking to just go into the week with a stronger day. I appreciate you guys for subscribing to the NorMagnoTrading.com community. Cheers, team. Oh, as always, I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan and process to strategy. Free chat links below. My course teacher by process links below. Brokers that I used all in the description below. Brokers should be stock up to $1,400. Scanner software code is CAM15, 50% off. Scanner settings I use all in the links in the description below. I appreciate you guys subscribing to the NorMagnoTrading.com community. It does help the channel out a ton.